Hi, this is Eldervi, and I don't know if there was some kind of sudden money blessing which no one told me about, because I was suddenly fighting so many whales this last week that I can serve you fish for weeks. This kinda doesn't sound right, does it? So I know I had to use some not really whalish maps with just a single or two random +10s in this show before, just to fill the free slots, but this time I promise you, we will go full on whale. The hardcore version with the really thick defenses. Watch out, little Bakut. You might need to talk to Duma this time to make it out alive. In this episode, we will continue where we left off and fight a Force Turn 1 map with a Lin-proof deflect missile Alfonse, so I had to clear it with Lin for obvious reasons. Then I will give you the dumbest throw of my life and let you puzzling on how I made it out alive. And last, we will shame a baby before we kill it. I guess my monetized days on YouTube are over. So, let's go back to where we left off last time, when I cleared a Force Turn 1 trap by staying out of range and sniping the enemies in the second round. This is another version of that map with its own benefits and flaws. First of all, let's talk about the obvious thing, which is the trap. Seiros is the unit in the extra slot, so one of the dancers will automatically reach out to her at the beginning of the next turn, and we all know that it's going to be Lachesis with aerobatics. Now, would I have left someone in the now increased range? Someone would have made themselves on the way to rally Lachesis. Lin would actually be the ideal choice, but seeing that this player has clearly overfed his team with assist skills, I actually can't even tell who would rally first. Literally everybody besides Seiros has a rally and can also reach Lachesis. If I remember correctly, melee units should rally prior to ranged units, so it would probably be either Duma or Idunn moving down and wasting the dance of Mirabilis. Now the thing is, and this is in general why every Force Turn 1 dancer trap without Duosigurd is beatable in one way or another, even with bringing 4 buildings I am left with exactly 6 tiles to hide my units in a way that the trap won't go off. And to be fair, this team isn't really strategized well at all. I see there's a guidance trap on Lachesis, so if you didn't pay attention and just left a unit in Seiros' row, that unit would likely get sniped by the Moonbow Impact Alfonse. But I don't see how the rallies would play out in a meaningful way at all. The bigger threat to this team is honestly the sheer numbers they present. We have an alliance of 3 +10 endgame dragons trying to crush you with brute force. Besides the fact that they forced one of them into a bunny costume, which makes it kinda less threatening right from the start. Duma runs Attack Death Unity and an Armor March seal, Idunn comes with Bracing Stance, poor Miller, Bolt Fighter and Joint Drive Attack, and Seiros with her Impact and another double Joint Drive, with yet another Joint Drive Attack on Lin. I get you, you stack attack. I would say this team is at least Gale Force proof. Good luck trying to win that heavy blade check. I've updated the attack numbers on the right just for the fun of it. Their defensive stats weren't something to ignore either. With their armor stats in general and premium skills on top, I can imagine a lot of teams seeing zeros after trying to engage on them. Luckily for me though, I got the win condition for this match delivered years ago at the beginning of Aether Raid's Astra season. Good old Naga is here to put those insane dragons back to sleep. I hope you know that I didn't actually say sleep, but the YouTube censorship program is already doing its work. With a 1.5 times damage multiplicator, I was ready to rampage through the lines. The fact that my bolt tower survived both Duma and the catapult was just a nice little detail on top. Still, I couldn't let my guard down, and those first few actions would be crucial in order to win this map. I know Duma would kill my level 1 tactic room, which was good. I do kinda run bonus buildings in obvious spots in Astra season, because I want Duma to eliminate that low level trash I have to bring along, to give me more space to work with. To make it seem as I'm sulking, I took out theirs as well, and did my best to hide all of my other units.
You have my trust. It will be done. On the right foot. Not so loud!
Now, the second turn was really crucial. I needed Altina to do a health thing with Plumeria, but I also needed Naga to give her dragon powers to both Altina and Lyn next turn. Therefore, I did something really scary and put my level 1 Plumeria right in that plus 10 Fire Sweep Lyn's range. I mean, there's still the chance that she rallies? If she deals less than 5 damage. So let's see, nope, 105 times 2. Plumeria's dead. I let Altina do her thing and I quickly brought my revolting teenager fairy back to home before something really bad happened. From there, I waited for the next turn. Turn 3. All of my little chess pieces were in position, so it was time to strike. I smote in Lyn. See? Educational videos. I actually learned stuff from you. And I was quite pleased by looking at the damage. Bolt Tower or not even the standstill denying my moonbow would have saved Idunn from Naga's wish to extinguish her own kind. And just as that, the first duo unit was gone. I danced with Plumeria, who was exactly in range to do that, and... ouch. No killing spree against that Alfonse. That's a big F. Do you remember the times when Aether's players said that you have to have hardy bearing or otherwise you have already lost? We are in the age of deflect missile, and to be honest, I hate it. Not that it stops dueling, I couldn't care less about that. But the fact that you kinda have to use this otherwise useless seal just to be safe from her. Hardy Bearing did a lot against numerous heroes. There were multiple viable vantage users and it also helped against the bike refine, so using it felt always kinda worth it. Deflect Missile on the other hand will actually never do anything for you but stopping lynchers from entering your map in the first place. I guess there's also Legendary Life, so yay, a seal for 2 units. And I'm gonna beat that duo sucker senseless nevertheless. This is not another map that I will lose against Duofonse. A thing of advice which I actually didn't know until recently myself. Deflect Missile does work from the second hit onwards. So in Lyn's case, who hits 4 times, Deflect Missile's 80% damage reduction applies to the hits 2, 3 and 4. Different from Brave Edelgard's 80% damage reduction from the second hit onwards, which only applies to the 3rd and 4th attack. At least I think it does, please correct me if I'm wrong. This also applies to the Deflect Magic seal, so if you are having constant problems with Reinhardt's small hands, Deflect Magic will also lower the damage of his Brave effect. Always good to know. So, as you see, I couldn't kill Alfonse because of Deflect Missile, but without killing him I wouldn't be able to activate my cheat skills as well. Or would I? I took out Seiros next to act as if I had still a plan, which was possible with or without the Bolt Tower. From there, Altina checked in with escape route and dragon effectiveness to take out Duma. I really love how much work Altina does in these maps. It makes playing this Lyn for so much more fun than just having 4 dancers who all grant Lyn additional moves. Too bad it only works best in Duma defenses. Duma update when? I want more people to use him. Maybe they could make Upheaval 2 strike buildings in 3 columns. Wouldn't that be kinda fearsome? From there, I did something I literally never did before. Instead of taking out Alfonse, I took out a duo building with Regan and used her Canto to already dig Alfonse's grave. With Peony now dancing Altina, Alfonse was locked up for good. This actually gives me another skill idea. What about something like Close Strike, enabling mages to attack with 1 range as well? Oh no, just imagine what Distance Strike would do to Kempf lines. Are you ready for a 5 range Legendary Sigurd? I hope IS isn't observing me, I really don't want to give them ideas. Altina took out Mirabilis, still not quite enough to activate Gale Force with Altina's non-existent attack stat, but Chidori's Duodan still made it possible to take out Lyn. I could have also taken out Lyn with my Lyn, which might have given me additional style points, but Florina vetoed it. I wonder why. I think she was even weeping. I took out Lachesis and the map was basically won for me. I'm kinda sad I didn't check Regan's damage on Alfonse in the last round when he was debuffed by Lyn. I wonder if Regan would have been able to kill him instead of taking out the duo building, but I actually think she couldn't have. Being locked up without close counter, he wasn't a threat at all though, so I could happily chip him down while I was taking the pots and finally finish him off with Lyn, just to set a sign. Deflect missile? Whatever. My next match was actually the last match of this light season, after I screwed up a Whale rematch and had to fish for someone random in tier 37. The match featured a plus 10 Kempf with AR defense speed res, wind sweep and fatal smoke. In combination with his Venom edge with the built-in flash ability, he clearly wouldn't be a joke to deal with. Odd recovery Veronica with AR defense attack speed at plus 10 merges, and of course the usual plus 10 Hector with far safe and crafty fighter. Haven't seen this one too often before. What does it do? Huh, who cares. Basic Hell with Mystic Boost and Miracle. That's interesting, though I don't think she will actually have enough encounters to charge that up. Plus 10 Impact Bramimond with Wings of Mercy, and last a plus 10 Duo Peony with an actual impact. Nothing screams Whale as loud as plus 10 premium dancers with totally unnecessary premium attack skills. I mean, Ruptured Sky? Really? Which dragon is she supposed to tank to charge that special? With Hector around, this team was pretty unsnipeable, at least in round 1. Odd Recovery also worked really well for this setup. With a very low turn 1 threat, you should think that you can easily isolate the only dancer in even rounds, but Veronica's range makes that actually impossible. I really like having dancers standing right behind horse healers. As long as the enemy has a building in that row, it makes isolating the dancer practically impossible. The downside to this map was clearly the defensive structures though. Buildings are bad on both sides, remember that. With the tactic room and the gargoyle building locking out melee units, I saw a safe haven for ranged tanks to bait Veronica without fear while Micaiah could deal with Kempf. I was quite confident being able to deal with this team without putting too much thought into it, so I literally spent 1 minute thinking about this map before I entered it. All the things I've said so far are probably 10 times more thoughts than I put into that match in the beginning, much to my regret as you will see soon. I decided to execute my play in turn 2 to make everyone move towards me before turn 3, making my bolt tower hopefully strike the whole team. I figured that there was probably a trap around Kempf, making him move down that narrow passage while still staying in Peony's range, so she would dance him and he could windsweep snipe a unit. So I left Micaiah right around the corner to end up in his range in order to delete him upon arrival. The high level tactic room was a bit annoying over there, but nothing Peony's guidance dance couldn't fix, so I easily brought Leon into range and waited for my double trap to activate. Veronica came down as expected and couldn't literally do anything against my Leon, so she was dead. But then, this happened. I clearly need to read into AI movement once more, because I did not expect hell out of all units to move first. So instead of also falling in round 2, Kempf was still happily enjoying his stay in the Valhalla Bolt Tower Meteor Shower, which actually didn't kill anyone. FE4 clearly promised me a different outcome. The healing tower would bring all of them back to full health next turn, which was especially nasty because of the plus 10 Hector. You do appreciate any chip damage you can deal to him before having to go into real combat against him. Hell was in a good position to be sniped, and I kinda felt like I had to take the chance, because even though her miracle wouldn't activate against mages, guard bearing usually makes it impossible to kill her at full health without also taking a hit as revenge.
What should I do?
Indeed, even with the damage of the bolt tower, my poor Micaiah was a single point of damage too weak to kill her right away. Her 22 damage would half with guard bearing, making her deal 11 and 22, while Hell had exactly 12 health points left, and Peony was just out of range to apply any kind of attack drive. What a bummer. Then I realized though that Hell's damage would actually put me into vantage range. I still haven't killed Merida, although I literally promised to do it last time. So maybe this would be my redemption? I figured Hell being gone wouldn't hurt, so I just killed her. Peony could easily dance and make me get out of there. Or would I even have to?
I have to fight.
Micaiah was in the perfect spot to vantage kill all of the threats. With taking out Kempf before he would hit me, I didn't have to fear his venom edge, and I was just in range to take out the healing tower, ensuring Micaiah to really get those kills. With such low health being left on them, none of them would survive my Mickey, right? Then it hit me. What did I just talk about in the last game? That one skill everyone had to have until the meta kinda shifted? Hardy bearing. There was still a hardy bearing on that Bramimond. Shoot! So he would definitely attack me first. What a bummer. But Micaiah has been the unofficial original mage killer before Guinevere became a thing. So maybe she would still be fine? Let's see. Bramimond has 65 attack, his weapon gives him another 5 and his impact another 6. My Micaiah has formidable 56 res. Further buffed by 7 from the great Peony's Fortify, and I get another 4 from my useless Stand Seal. Sadly our weapon refine wouldn't activate as Hell put me way below 50% health, but I would still get the 30% damage reduction on the first hit, so that would make 76 versus 67 minus 30%, so 6 damage. What a joke. But wait, there's the panic mana. It will actually turn my +7 into -7. Damn you, Peony! You were supposed to be socially distancing from Micaiah, but you couldn't listen, and now see what you have done! So with those 7 turning into -7, my res went down to 53, but I would still be fine. 23 initial damage minus 30%, that's 16. Stupid Peony. But wait a second. Stupid Peony! There is one playing for the other team as well, and she adds freaking 13 attack to this Bramimond. 6 from her weapon for being in the same row, 4 from joint drive, and 3 from another drive. That's 89 versus 53 and actually 25 damage. That is not what I ordered. I didn't get beaten by Alfonse twice, and I wouldn't get beaten by Bramimond twice. Luckily there was still Miller. By debuffing Bramimond's attack by -7, while also giving my Micaiah another +2 res if I put Miller up 1 tile, I would actually barely survive with exactly 1 HP. Whew. I hate it when it comes down to such small numbers. Let me just check that I really didn't miss anything. Oh noes. Do you see what I see? Impenetrable Dark will obviously take away Miller's support. And with that, Bramimond will deal exactly 20 damage. This can't be happening. Please. Not exact lethal, that is so unfair! My freaking Micaiah is still summoner supported, you can't do that to me! Please! I was literally stuck in the screen for a whole hour thinking about the craziest movement shenanigans to still save my game. I couldn't take out any of them, not even the bolt tower damage made it possible for my armor-slaying Micaiah to take out Hector. I thought about running, obviously. But Kempf would move down, Bramimond would go next, get danced by Peony, and with this stupid guidance shenanigan, he could have warped over Kempf to snatch my Peony. Not cool. Even with trying to beat Kempf at the border of the danger area, Bramimond would have moved down to get danced and could have killed me there. And without taking out the healing tower, I had no chance of winning against Bramimond either. So even without the panic debuffs, he maybe wouldn't have killed me with his first attack, but for sure with his second. Stupid me for still not running no follow-up. I thought about Daga moving in with Wings of Mercy to kill Kempf. She was debuffed by -8 from the shrine, so she would actually hit 76 attack, making it possible to hit Kempf twice, to kill him and activate Gale Force. But I would have had to YOLO the heavy trap after that, as there was no way to move around it in order to reach Bramimond. Leon and Air were both slowed by the tactic room, so there was no way to benefit from Daga or to redirect Bramimond in their direction without also attracting Kempf. And my TA Leon would not enjoy taking that hit. With Wind Sweep on Kempf, Leon might have actually even survived a single hit from Kempf. But as they would have been healed up by then, Bramimond would not go over to Kempf with Wings of Mercy, but instead take the dancing route again, and I would end up in the exact same mess and a dead Micaiah just as before. I honestly thought about just surrendering the match numerous times, but after all the possible ways you guys sent me in the last video on how to still get the back row pots with an open Veronica in the middle of the map, I didn't want to accept that there was no way left for me to win this map. I only needed Bramimond to deal a single point less damage. And then I finally saw it. So, honoring the pot game from my last video, do you see the tactic to still win this match without losses? I know that this is extra hard because you can't see the current stats and click on them to know what's going on, so please, if you don't see it right away, don't bother with it too much. It's crazy enough that I took an hour to figure out this map. This Asian player is not supposed to take away even more of our lifetime. I'll stall for another second for those who are really mad enough to try it. I guess everyone should have found the pause button by now. So, here comes the magic. It did come down to a lot of stats. If FE was ever a game of math, this game proves it. The key in order to win was actually hidden underneath the buildings, and I guess some of you figured out as much. Now, without going way overboard here, I think some of these maps are like those trick images where someone sees an old lady and someone a curvy beauty. Either you see the right spots to claim the victory, or you can only see them after someone else points them out.
Death's caress. Yes?
By taking out the buildings, I cleared so many troublesome things at once. First, I took Micaiah out of the panic room's range, then I got Bramimond out of Peony's drive range and even weakened Kempf's AR defense skill, because if Miller had missed that kill, Bramimond would have killed her with Wings of Mercy afterwards. I have to say, now that I've done it, the solution looks kinda obvious, but believe me, I was wetting my pants when I finally saw it. I'm usually not smart enough to see sniping positions from still standing buildings, but that might be because my head sees buildings as kinda immovable objects. As should all of you unless you are hooligans. From there, it was luckily just a matter of cleaning up. Leon deals so incredibly well with far safe backdoors, he can even tank some hits to chip down a giant. And I still don't even know what Crafty Fighter does. Something useful, I guess. The rest of the match isn't that spectacular, so let's just speed it up. I think despite the +10s I had a good team to deal with this map. It was mostly my impatience which made this much more difficult than it had to be. But I am delighted by the thought that this player doesn't see my thinking time when they watch the replay, but only me slaying their team in an impressive and totally planned out way.
Such cowardly tactics.
This last team made me meet a really cute BabyTana at +10. Seeing this, I really wonder how many Leons that player ended up with, but I guess that's another thing. So, to move through them one by one, starting in the top left corner, a +6 Triandra with Death Blow 4. Okay. Close Guard Seal and Ground Orders, trying to make Sothis into Edelgard. Trust me, girl, There was an organization who tried that once and it didn't end too well for them. Next we have Winter Sothis at plus 10 merges and with far safe. Come on, give me a break already. Very fighter and deflect missile on top. You know, this is light season, I don't even run Ninja in here. Next we have a plus 10 duo Blyeth with Windsweep Ruptured Sky. Is Ruptured Sky in her base kit, or do whales all over the world have a passion for eating new professors? Oh, no, it is in her base kit. Okay, never mind. Eldigan at plus 1 with double distant guard. I mean, I guess that's still for the Ninja thing, but plus 1? Curdly Candle? Fury 4? Could you please even try to withstand my Miller? Eldigan's whole point of existence is to be unisolatable by Miller. Those 53 defense don't even look like he's trying. Oh boy. Hell at plus 5 with Mystic Boost and Base Kit. Hell is pretty much dead once the update with the next Bow Tower level comes out. Even with merges she will go down straight to 1 health after that thing hits. So bye bye Miracle Effect. People who still intend to use her may already start thinking about giving her a Dex Swabber or Ninja Mazakari for the future. I'm obviously joking. But am I? I'm still thinking about that Force Turn 1 Hell from the last episode. She was really cool. How epic would that have looked with a broom instead? Last but certainly not least, the centerpiece of this defense. Cute little BabyTana with Attack Def Unity, Guard Bearing, Joint Drive, Rally Up Speed? What the heck? Was any of that in her base kit? No! They switched out everything besides her weapon. For what? Who would do that? So, the thing they were trying to tell me with this map was, don't even try to snipe me, try to tank me. It's going to be fine. By the way, do you see my Corin? Huh? Do you see her? Do you see how she looks? With those golden swim goggles? I still can't believe you made me do that. So, to put this straight, this map layout isn't the best to be fair. I can see that it has an idea, but the execution is just not there. The idea is obviously to make people try to tank Blyeth. She's looking very innocent over there with nothing but a little bikini and a small breeze of wind, but with no overlapping range at all. If you bait her from the left side, she will even leave Rhea behind by flying over these mountains, because there was sadly only place for one chibi on that wyvern. Bye Rhea. But what you didn't see is, BabyTana will actually jump down below Blyeth because her movement range is huge, and she will rally her and get danced by Eldigan, and then you will suddenly fight Tana and not Blyeth. You didn't see that coming, did you? And even if you manage to isolate Eldigan, which, whatever, she will still get danced by Triandra after Blyeth left her spot. So, you have no chance to stop that. Yeah. Unless you isolate Tana herself. But then, you will probably forget about the wind sweep and suddenly can't kill Blyeth, and with Tana's huge baby movement she will hop down straight to your backline and kill your mythics. Because who wouldn't tank Blyeth with a tank who can't hit her back? Why would you ever not want that? To be fair, it takes effort to tank both Blyeth and BabyTana. With this new catch skill and the panic mana, which I will totally not destroy but rather end up in its range, unfortunately. Yeah. She can reach 79 effective attack and 85 effective speed. So you really want to use someone with a favorable matchup against her. But Tana? I don't really get the Unity skill. Isn't the idea behind that your unit is debuffed? With the rally trap you will refresh her from any debuffs. So the only thing that stays is a potential +5 bond effect at 2 distance. And guard bearing won't do anything for her if she starts the battle either. I really love BabyTana, she's totally cute and I really like her weapon. But that build isn't doing anything for me, I'm sorry. Maybe there's something I'm missing and it's actually genius? In the end, I decided to do what they wanted me to do, to tank the crap out of this map. It was actually really hard for me to find a spot for Miller to be useless, because I really didn't want to isolate anyone. BabyTana's movement can be bonkers, especially with a rally, so I was happy to see her gone right in turn 1. And as this player thought it was a good idea to totally imprison Triandra, I kinda wanted to help with that, by making her stay in that cell for a little while longer with my Loki, who I finally need to actually build. I think she's still running Live to Serve too, although I'm sitting on like 6k SP with her. I placed Miller at the edge of the map where she wouldn't hit Tana with her rally, or Eldigan who dances her, or Blyeth who has to receive it, or Triandra who's supposed to dance as well. What are the odds of 4 rows full of targets you don't want to isolate? And I just put Corrin inside of Blyeth's range while staying out of the Panic Menace range as well. Corrin's deadline is so amazing. With the +5 from her weapon and the double rest boost from Air and Dagger, I can hardly imagine her to die against anything besides Dragon Effectiveness or AoE specials. Well, she has to take care that there are no guards who fuck up her special, but besides that? Windsweep luckily doesn't work against dragons, and BabyTana's performance will actually be really sad to see. So, take a look. Oh no, the rally! I didn't see that coming! How can she reach so far? I mean, seriously? I even double her?
Just like my brother.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about the thing with your brother. Deadeye Innes might have performed a little bit better here. And that's a potential 79 attack by Blyeth for you, dealing 2 times 2. Sorry, I meant 0. To be honest, I'm not super proud of this map. As you know, I enjoy Gale Force plays or complicated double tanking strategies much more than just slamming my overpowered units in range of everyone. But... actually, look at that! Do you see what I see? This Eldigan is not isolated.
That's correct.
How? It can't be the panic, can it? Oh no, he actually runs chill defense instead of any positioning skill. My bad, I missed that. Please, can I trade my +10 well-built Eldigan for your Fury 4 fodder? I think I have better usage for it. I'm sorry, I'm really not trying to trash talk this map. It's late, so... I just continued with Dragon Supremacy. Triandra was still slowed, so this back to her non-Edelgard movement, and Eldigan would get baited, so enjoy the view.
Good morning.
Now there was this really small chance that my Corrin wouldn't deal enough damage to Hel to activate her miracle with her first attack, which would have made Hel getting danced by Eldigan. And then she could have reached someone like Daga or my Loki, but she actually couldn't have killed either of them, and even the Wings of Mercy Triandra couldn't have put the nail in the coffin. Loki has such high HP with 4 mythics, it's amazing. But as you see, it didn't come to it anyways. And funny enough, that +10 far-safe Winter Sodas with Worry Fighter, who really seems to be scary or dangerous or something like that, ran Distant Ward, making it possible for my heir to chip her down bit by bit without having to fear anything. What the fuck is Deflect Missile for when you can't even counterattack dagger units? It makes no sense. I'm really not trash talking the skill decisions of this map. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm really not. My own defense sucks as well. I am no poster child as well. But this just didn't work out for that summoner at all. So, in order to make this at least a little bit more interesting, Let's do some cool Pathfinder guidance shenanigans before clearing the map, so it feels like I did more than just placing a tank at the edge of the danger area.
Ready. Dex caress. If you say so. Ooh. Right, boss.
And that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you were baffled. Maybe my laid-back talking attitude makes these maps kinda seem easy to deal with, but I can guarantee you, they are really not. If I die of an early age, I will totally blame it on Aether raids. The whales are strong with dark side of the force. Without brains, we won't stand a chance against them. Or by using duo safe offenses on our own. But remember, once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny. And I haven't even seen Star Wars. See ya!